4, 3, 2, 1.
At the beach, on the boat, the boardwalk, the lake, the mountain house, the backyard pool, wherever you might be in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, you can play the BetParx online casino and sportsbook app in PA, NJ, and the Play Gun Lake online casino in Michigan. Play your favorite casino games with live dealers. Make your downtime fun time. Baccarat, live roulette, live blackjack right on your phone, plus hundreds of exciting online slots like Slingo Fire and Ice, Capital Gains, Fantastic Fireworks, Lucky Cherry, and the one I like, which is the Rocky Balboa one. Live bet sports while you watch the game on the BetParx online casino and sportsbook app, the Play Gun Lake app as well. Bet the first 3 innings, the first 5 innings, the whole game. Bet on more than the score. You can bet player performance for hits, home runs, strikeouts, and more. I love all the prop bets. It's fun to have skin in the game. It's safe and simple and easy to use. BetParx and Play Gun Lake, the only app online casinos that I recommend. BetParx and Play Gun Lake, they've got a great offer for new users. A new user download app right now gets up to $1,000 casino bonus back. If you're down in the first 24 hours, that casino bonus has to be wagered. BetParx.com has all the details. You've got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You love to play, you play to win. You bet. BetParx. Time now for some of the headlines from the Tuesday edition of the newsletter. TC, I love this story, which is based on a YouGov popularity poll of all Republicans and all Democrats, and you have your pick and you get to rank them. And despite being the Republican nominee, I guess I still have to say the presumptive Republican nominee, Donald Trump, is not the most popular Republican in America.
How
but
dare
rather,
you?
It is the governor.
I know.
It is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So great. What did you think of that?
I like it. I like it because if you were to say to me, I mean, you've got to distinguish between living and non-living, and here they've got everything in the mix. For example, Schwarzenegger comes in number 1. Former President George W. Bush comes in second, followed by Ben Carson. That surprised me. Trump is number 4, rounding out the top 10 most popular Republicans. Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, former governor, Ted Cruz, Ron DeSantis, Henry Kissinger? Really? Okay. Tim Scott and Bob Dole.
What is this list? This list,
I don't know.
I started reading it. The top of the list made sense to me. And then when I like you, got to Ben Carson and like the wheels went off the bus in my mind. Like, what are you even talking about? I don't understand.
If it were my list, I'm going to go with, and if I can include the deceased, I'm going to go with George Herbert Walker Bush.
Of course you are.
I will put Papa Bush in the number 1 position.
Okay.
Wow. I'm shocked if they have those who are deceased. How does Ronald Reagan not make the list?
Lord. But Ben Carson. I don't get it.
Ben Carson.
I don't get it. No.
Yeah, I don't get it either. My list would include Papa Bush, Ronald Reagan, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm taking anybody else from this list. I don't know. I got to think about it.
Okay, you think about that. Let's all think about our own lists.
Oh, okay. And then on the Democratic side, Jimmy Carter at number 1?
I think, is that nostalgia? Is that
sympathy?
I mean, that he is hanging on. He is just hanging in there.
Do you know that it was, I think it was going on 2 years ago that Catherine, my producer at CNN on a Friday, said to me, hey, you just got to be ready in case Jimmy Carter passes by tomorrow.
Well, and I think that was before the family announced that he went into hospice.
Oh, yeah.
And now, but hasn't he been in hospice for over a year? Which I know what the sort of formal definition of hospice is. It's that you're not doing heroic measures and you're keeping comfortable. But usually hospice is an indication that the last walk is near, right? I mean, that's sort of right? So to me, that's what I thought. And this is just, I don't know. Yeah.
So it's Carter, then Obama, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, Bill Clinton, Kamala Harris, Madeleine Albright.
I don't know.
Okay. Joe Biden and AOC.
The whole thing.
If you're making me make a choice among, Democrats, I'm going to put in the lead position Barack Obama.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to have Bill Clinton in second position.
Okay.
And if it's Hillary who showed up for my book club podcast, I'll put Hillary third.
Wow. Wait, what?
If it's Hillary who showed up for my interview, that Hillary.
Right.
She was a wonderful Hillary.
She was a wonderful Hillary.
She was fun.
I know.
She was smart. She was engaging. She was relaxed.
Yeah.
We have to revisit this from yesterday. Chris Gardner from The Hollywood Reporter was my guest. It's Chris Gardner who shot the video at the LA fundraiser that then went viral and sparked this whole, Freezegate controversy pertaining to President Biden and President Obama leading him off the stage. Yesterday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre dismissed speculation that President Biden froze while standing in the stage lights and had to be guided to an exit by former President Obama. She said, quote, "Let's not forget President Obama, President Biden have a relationship. They are friends. They're like family to each other. And I think that's what you saw." Yesterday on the program, Chris Gardner, who shot the video, was here, and I asked him for his reaction, given that he's the one who took it. Did you think there was something significant that had transpired?
Oof, that's a good question. I thought there was some news value in what I saw. Partially, two things can be true. That there was news value in just seeing the way that they interacted with one another, which I thought could be interpreted as very sweet and special. I mean, I thought, on one hand, it was worth recording and worth sharing because just of the two of them together and how special of a moment that was to see and how newsworthy and how people would want to see that who weren't in the room. And I noticed that there might be something more there, but there was nothing nefarious on my part. I just thought, well, it looked like a newsworthy interaction.
So that's Chris Gardner from The Hollywood Reporter. We have a different angle, and I've posted it on my Facebook page, and I've asked, what do you see when you watch this video? So please look at the angle we've posted on my Facebook page and post a comment so that on tomorrow's program I can read them aloud. TC, there's got to be a poll question in this, but I don't want it to be a 90-10 again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having trouble thinking of that, of what poll. I mean, is it sort of like, what do you see, or what do you think? Okay, here's how I always ask you a question about polling. What is it you want to find out? What people see when they look at that video?
Yes.
That's what you want to find out.
Yes, and it's kind of a subjective, open-ended thing that doesn't lend itself well to a binary choice of one of my poll questions.
That's why I'm having trouble. So in other words, you can't necessarily ask, kind moment between friends versus freezing on stage.
Well, why not? I mean, maybe that is the answer.
What do you most see when you see the viral video?
Yeah.
A kind moment between friends.
And then we give them the choices.
Yeah. All right.
We give them something benign.
Yes.
Something benign and something where it's friends. Obama, rendering aid.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, my view, and I said this to Chris yesterday, my view is based on his video, but also the close-up videos. I think it was just Biden basking in the moment. Basking in the moment. That's how I interpret it. That's what I've said. That continues to be my view. We'll work on it, but I'd love to come up with something for tomorrow before it gets too late. I'd love to have a poll question on that for tomorrow. By the way, also enjoy Jack Omen's editorial cartoon. It's a take on all the controversy taking place in the Washington Post right now. Jack Omen draws for us every Tuesday.
We got to get into that too, by the way. What is going on over there?
I think I want to do a deep dive, like a Brian Stelter type guest and figure out what is going on.
Please, yes.
Okay. More headlines now from the Tuesday edition of the newsletter. Yesterday, hooray, 32,579 votes cast. We appreciate you for voting. In the upcoming presidential debate, should microphones be muted except for the candidate whose turn it is to speak? 90.42% of you had the wrong answer. And you said, yes, you want muted microphones. I don't want muted microphones. I've thought a lot about it. And if Trump is overbearing, so be it. Let the voters hold him accountable. It'll be to Biden's advantage. I don't want to start that whole process. I really don't. I'd rather have the give and take between the candidates. I want more candidates, less moderators. No disrespect to my colleagues. It's not a reflection on them that I have this view. I just want more natural, and I hope they'll be civil, one-liners, but be civil between the two of them. But I don't think that muting the microphones is the way to go. But hard to believe, here we are on Tuesday. It is a week from this Thursday. Said differently, next Thursday is the debate. Did you see, TC, James Carville casting doubt on whether Donald Trump is even going to show up?
Yeah, I actually pulled that audio if you would like to hear it. So yeah,
please, I would love to.
Okay, so this was James Carville discussing the debate, and actually they were talking about the muted microphones. They were talking about all the rules and what it was going to look like. Here is what Mr. Carville had to say.
Well, if I was a gambler, actually I am a gambler. Yeah, I'd take even money if Trump doesn't show up. Okay, I just think
you don't think Trump's coming next week?
I mean, I don't know, but if I was, I think he's going to wake up and say and decide. He just like he said he was going to testify in his defense of his trial. He couldn't put on a defense. Let him show up. I wouldn't be shocked, but I certainly would not be surprised. If you gave me even money, I'd say he's a no-show. He'll just get up and say, I'm just not going to do it.
My favorite part of that clip is that James Carville says, if I were a gambler, and then he says, I am a gambler. I am a gambler. Even money that Trump doesn't show up. There's no way I can see that happening. He would be perceived.
It would be
as
too cowardly.
Cowardly. Thank you.
Right?
He would be the cowardly lion.
Yeah.
There's no excuse out there that could be a legitimate excuse for Trump to bail at this stage. Mark Halpern, and Mark will be here, of course, tomorrow in the second hour of the program, and I'll talk to him about this. Mark today in his Wide World of News speculates that Trump really is more serious in preparation for this debate than he's been in the past, doesn't want that out, wants to give the air of being unconcerned, and he's not spending any time, and it's Biden who has like nothing on his schedule this week because he's doing debate prep. But he believes that Trump has his nose to the grindstone, at least for Trump, more so than he has in the past, and I think that makes sense. Today's poll question at Smerconish.com, as I said previously, so fortuitous. Here I was last night on Long Island speaking to a sold-out crowd in the Engelman Theater. Such a privilege. My friend Charlie Reichert, thank you, Charlie, for finally getting me to Long Island. I should have come a long time ago. It was a wonderful experience, but I'm making my Mingle project presentation, drawing on all the social science, talking about the fraying of our national fabric, the role of polarization and technology. And I have a quote in my presentation from Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General, saying we've got a loneliness epidemic. And fortuitously, yesterday, he pens this essay that gets published in the New York Times so that I was able to draw on it, where he says Congress ought to put a warning label on social media platforms advising of potential damage to mental health. And I am asking whether you agree with that recommendation from the Surgeon General. I certainly do. Also on the health front, I guess, Maryland Governor Wes Moore pardons 175,000 plus marijuana convictions. To put the enormity of the pardon in perspective, the number of people impacted would twice fill M&T Bank Stadium, so says the Baltimore TV affiliate whose coverage we ran at Smerconish.com. NTC, we must get to Senator Chuck Schumer.
I mean, poor Senator Schumer. Can
No!
we just leave him alone?
No!
Come on.
No, tell the story.
This is ridiculous.
No, it's not.
He posted a Father's Day photo tweet of him grilling, and he's so excited because he's lived his whole life in the city and wasn't able to grill, and his daughter and her wife just bought a house with a backyard, so they were grilling outside for Father's Day. He's so excited. And people had total and utter fits about his grilling skills and the fact that there was cheese on a burger that wasn't done. And like, everybody relax.
Who does that? Who does that?
For goodness sakes.
There's the picture.
Relax.
There's the picture. Randy just put it up for the benefit of those who are watching on YouTube, and we appreciate you. There is Senator Schumer. Here's the message, as TC was just referencing. Our family has lived in an apartment building for all our years, but my daughter and her wife just bought a house with a backyard, and for the first time, we're having a barbecue with hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill Father's Day heaven. But if you look at the grill, it's a raw patty. Who puts the cheese on a raw patty? I mean, I guess he's acknowledging he doesn't have any experience as a grillmeister.
Well, true.
But holy smokes.
I just think everybody, the poor guy had to take down the picture. And by the way, this is not an R or a D thing.
If he had to remove it.
If this was Rubio who was doing this, I would be saying the same thing. Give the guy a break. Like, life is too short to worry about someone's burgers. Just like, let him have his joy. He'll figure it out. Other people commented that maybe it was a veggie burger, so it looked raw but wasn't really raw. I don't know.
Oh.
I just report, you decide.
Like an Impossible Burger.
Who knows? No, not Impossible. Veggie. So that is, I'm just not sure. The dogs look good, though. Look at those with the grill marks and everything.
Chuck, I love you, man, but you put the cheese on after, all caps, the burger is cooked. Might want to cook that burger longer, Chuck. Ex-National Republican Senatorial Committee Matt Whitlock tweeted, seeing that piece of cheese on a raw patty with a gif of a concerned Steve Carell slinking away. Some came to the defense of the 73-year-old married father of two, one user insisting, calm down, people. I think this is signed TC from Philadelphia.
Seriously.
Calm down, people. It is not raw/cold. It's a veggie burger patty underneath a slice of tofu. What kind of a Father's Day heaven is that? And then something else that we don't have time to really delve into today, but I want to circle back to, and maybe, TC, you'll book this individual as a guest. The headline, I think the headline that I wrote for Smerconish.com is better than what the Wall Street Journal has. They have why I skipped college to be an HVAC tech. Randy, can you put that one up on the screen for me? Mine was HVAC instead of BA or BS. Cole Kelly. When I was in elementary and middle school, my teachers encouraged students to become doctors, lawyers, professors, architects, all the academic intensive professions. They sold me on studying engineering. I've always liked building things with my hands, not sitting in an office. I decided to become an HVAC technician. I do what I love. I have found that I can make a more than livable wage. Amen. There is a market for this individual in my community. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to Smerconish.com and vote on today's poll question, which pertains to the Surgeon General and social media warnings that he thinks are necessary, akin to automobile safety and smoking and alcohol. And I, of course, agree with him. We thank you for listening. Thank you for voting. Thank you for everything. See ya.